Hey YouTubers, Terry here, or better known as Penn Central 99. It's the end of January, beginning of February 2015, so I thought I'd put together a little bit of an update to let you know what's been going on. As you're aware, I haven't uploaded any videos for a while, but that doesn't mean I haven't been doing anything. I actually have a lot of things to show you. I've been doing a lot of research and development. I want to keep the video short, so let's go ahead and get started. Well, hopefully you noticed from the introduction that I've renamed the layout. I've renamed the layout the River Mountain Model Railroad. Came up with a logo, thought it was kind of cool. I know a few months ago I thought about naming it the Black Mountain Model Railroad, even though we live close to that. But we actually live in the River Mountain area of Las Vegas, so I'm going to go with that. Stick with the logo that I have. I think it looks pretty good, so we're going to go with that. The River Mountain Model Railroad is still going to have its 4 subdivisions: Sidewinder Junction, Dusty Flats, Foothill Ridge, and Thumbtack Canyon. Okay, to get things started, I bought some turnouts and some track. I was able to finish the inner loop. And try and go slow here, not to make anybody dizzy. Which now goes all the way around. I've got the turnouts in place. You can see here we got a complete outer loop. The inner loop is complete. This is Thumbtack Canyon, where we're going to have a gold mine, don't we wish, coal mine. As you can see there, I've got turnout, 2 sidings. 4 coal hoppers will fit on each one of those sidings, so I could actually put 8 coal hoppers on there, ready for either pickup or loading. And you can see it continues around here now and goes into Sidewinder Junction. You can also see there I finally completed Sidewinder Junction. Man, there's a lot of turnouts and a lot of track there. Took me a little bit longer than I anticipated to do that. But as you can see, let me get my finger in the way here. This is the outer main. This is the inner main. That is the interchange track for drop off and pickup between the outer and the inner. I've got a siding up here, and as you can see, I've started to put together a maintenance crew, a train. I got my crane out of storage, put them on the track there. Got a box car. You can see I've got an inner line here, or an inner siding for also car storage also. But I've got all the track laid there for Sidewinder Junction. Took a while, but it's done. One of the other things that I did is I came up with a wash. And like I said in the introduction, I was doing some research and development. So I put together a wash and I started to wash the ballast. No, not clean it, but put a little bit of black wash down to make it look used. You can see here, this little piece right here, I have not put any black wash down yet, but you can see the difference, how a little bit of black wash and some water tones that ballast down a little bit. I think it looks pretty good. This is the only area that I have ballasted so far, so it only took a couple of minutes once I put together the mixture of the wash and got that done. So I think that turned out pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at purchases and upgrades. Here's the latest release from Intermountain, their ES44AC. This has the lock sound decoders. Even though this is my second loco from Intermountain, this is my first one with lock sound. I must say I'm very impressed with the sounds and the operation. The only thing that's a little bit tricky to speed match it with my Soundtrack Tsunamis. I already have this one speed matched and consisted with my Penn Central Heritage Loco from Athearn, the SD70 ACE. So she's looking pretty good and she's running pretty good. Here's an Intermountain boxcar I found on eBay a couple of weeks ago. I've been looking for one of these. I think they're pretty cool. The paint scheme is pretty nice. The other thing that I like about it is I see these things go through town on mixed freights from Union Pacific. So these things are very much still in service today. You can see, even though it says Golden West service, it's been patched out for Southern Pacific and renumbered. I think it's pretty cool, and I like them, and it's very much realistic and still in service. Here's an Athearn boxcar that I've had for years. The issue with this is one of the trucks was bad, and I could not bore out or shave out the burrs that were inside of the trucks and get the wheels to run properly. They drug all the time versus spinning. So while I was purchasing stuff from that ES44 AC Loco from Intermountain, I asked them to throw in some new trucks so I could swap out the trucks on this and get those going. It runs a lot better now than it did before, especially now that I have free rolling wheels. A couple of box cars that I found. There's number 1 and number 2. These box cars were Athearn blue box kits that I found on eBay. They are the Nevada Northern Railway. They were very easy to put together. I upgraded the wheels to Intermountain metal wheels and also put KD couplers on them. So those are purchases and upgrades for the past couple of months. As I said, with research and development, I started experimenting with weathering rolling stock. This 2-bay hopper here, Conrail paint scheme I had for years. I figured I would start with something that if I damaged it or it went bad, it wouldn't be a total loss. So what I did here, as you can see, is I got some rust spots on here, a couple of them. There's a few. Let me get out of the light here so you can kind of see what's going on. On the top, I just dry brushed some rust spots. I don't think it turned out too bad. But like I say, for my first serious attempt at weathering, I don't think it turned out too bad. So then I thought I would weather up another car. This one's not too bad either. I've got a couple of rust spots on here, some graffiti, and what I did is I got some micro sol and some micro set, made up the graphics on decal paper and applied them on there, and I think they turned out pretty good. As far as the roof here, that's just dry brushed on the roof there. It toned it down a little bit. It's not too bad, but it is what it is. Like I say, I'm still in R&D. I'm not totally convinced on my weathering techniques, but they are getting better. Let me draw back on this one here a little bit. This is an old Bachmann. Probably had this in a kit for some of you longer than some of you have been alive. But this was going pretty good. I mean, I had the white toned down. I got the black shadows on the rivets there, giving it some weathering, some rust spots. Was doing pretty good until I tried to dust the bottom of it there. I'm not too overly thrilled with that, but it is what it is. Now the thing that I like with this is the roof there. See if I can get it to focus. That is that salt chip technique, where you paint whatever rust color you want or whatever color you want for rust. After it dries, pour salt on there and then wet it down. Once the water dries, then go ahead and spray your roof color. I used like a light silver. And that is that salt chipping technique for rust on the roof. You know, other than trying to weather the bottom of the car with that brown, I think that turned out pretty good. So venturing on in R&D, getting a little bit better each time. Here's a hopper. This one is toned down quite a bit. The black shadow was done with weathering chalk and a micro brush, and what I did is I just applied that and then wiped it off with my finger, and whatever stayed in the groove stayed in the groove. So I think that turned out pretty well. the rust spots, what I did is I used some rubbing alcohol with a Q-tip and actually wiped off the paint that was on there from the manufacturer down to the plastic, and then used weathering chalks to bring that out to make it look like light rust spots. But with the thing that I like out, the stuff that I like the most is how the weathering is turning out on my wheels and my trucks. I think the weathering is turning out really good on my trucks and my wheels. The plastic is so smooth on this stuff, you've really got to be careful and understand what you're doing, but that's weathering chalks and powders and some dull coat on the trucks. The wheels, I bought a wheel mask and spray painted them with Rust-Oleum to give it that rust look, and I think they turn out pretty good. There you can see two variations of the trucks. They're not looking too bad. The roof of that hopper is pretty simple. Just toned that down with some chalks. And of course there's two sides to everything, so here's the opposite side of that hopper. The rust patches, where the rust spots are just a little bit different technique and design, but I think this turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I got 4 cars here that I've been practicing weathering on. I don't think they turned out too bad. And just to give you an idea, here is what this car started out as, and here's what it ended up as. And as far as that hopper, this is what we started out with, and this is what we ended up with. Okay, on the other aspect of R&D, I watched one of Luke Talon's videos on how to make chain-link fences, and I thought, hey, I could do that. So here you go. This is one of my variations of a chain-link fence. Basically, this is copper wire. I made a jig so that I could put all the pieces of the wire on the jig and then solder them together. And after I got done soldering them together, and just like in Luke's video, use that tool, that they use for wedding veils, and glue that on there. I just threw in a couple little variations. You see, I got a sign here that says no trespassing, keep out. There's another sign down here that says keep out. I took a dry brush, in the same colors that I used for the rust on those cars, which is basically like a burnt sienna and a burnt umber, and just dry brush some rust spots on the fence here. Here's another chain link fence that I threw together. This one's just a little bit longer, but the same technique as far as soldering the copper wire together, and using a dry brush technique to get some rust spots on there. But I think it turns out pretty well. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm obviously going to be making more of these for the scenes and stuff on the layout here. But there's 2 more variations of some R&D or research and development. This spray paint is like a smoke gray versus the lighter one that you just saw earlier, which is like a primer gray. Okay, and here's a close-up of this chain link fence that I put together. I think it turned out pretty good. And lastly, as far as buildings and scenery, I just picked up this Central Gas and Supply off of eBay. $15 and $6 shipping. Heck, I couldn't beat that. This is going to be one of the scenes on my layout as far as one of my industrial spurs. I'm going to have a propane dealer to go with my LPG car that I have. So I picked this up for one of my scenes. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. As you can see, I've got some track laid, I've got some locomotives, I've got some rolling stock, I've got some scenery, and I've got some buildings. Spent a lot of time on research and development with building things, weathering things, and like I said at the beginning, although I haven't been uploading any videos lately, that doesn't mean I haven't been working on the layout. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate every one of you subscribers, I really do. I may not express that appreciation, but I really do. And as always, thanks for watching.